In this video series, we'll be looking at all the elements that make up the hire to retire process, all brought together by Access Workspace. One unified HRS platform, one connected team.
Now let's talk a little bit more about performance management and how you can run performance reviews within PeopleHR and how you can configure those as well to your liking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the performance management screen here. Now, the first thing that I'm going to show you is a performance review screen. Now, in this screen, you'll be able to see how many reviews you have outstanding, how many have been completed within your organization, and you'll be able to drill down within each review here as well. Now, the second pane here is your scoring pane, and apologies, I don't have much information here as well. But pretty much what you can do is you can populate all your performance reviews based on each review and the score that they have had on each review as well. And you'll be able to see who your top performers are within your organization. Now, before I show you how you can process a performance review as a manager or an administrator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually configure a performance review. And with that, we're going to go into the settings. Now, the settings is just a general way to pretty much configure pretty much everything that is within PeopleHR. We're going to go into the performance tab here. And we're going to go click into this performance review just so you can see a quick snapshot of how configurable it is to create a performance review. Now, say for example, you want to create a performance review for a probationary review. So it's every 6 months, every year, whatever it might be, or you want to, just have a specific employee and do a one-to-one, you can definitely do that. So your filtering options are quite extensive within the performance management here. And say, for example, it is a length of service, excluding specific employees, and so much more. So the first step that you'll be going through is filtering to who you want to target the performance review to within PeopleHR. Now, from here, you'll be able to set up your ratings. Now, your ratings could be from 1 to 3, 1 to 5, 1 to 10. I mean, it really just depends on how you want to have your ratings set, or you can just have your ratings completely turned off. Now, the way that your performance reviews are segmented within PeopleHR are between core segments, job role segments, and 360 segments. Now, your core segments are your segments that are related to your company. So, for example, it could be your company pillars, such as, strategic critical thinking, thinking outside the box, dedication, teamwork, whatever it might be. And within each segment, you have questions. Now, those questions, you'll be able to add as many questions as you'd like, set them up in whichever order you'd like as well. And from here, what you can do is you can choose whether you want the question to be a text question or a text and a slider question as well. Now, what that means is that each question you'll be able to score on. So you might want to provide a score for each segment from 1 to 10, and then also add any sort of additional text that you want to add. So again, you can see that it's very configurable in a sense that you can have your performance review questions rated in a rating sense, or if you want people to elaborate a little bit more on their answers, you'll be able to have them in both text and rating as well. So that's how you slowly populate your core segments. Very similar to your core segments is your job role segments. So this is specific to a person's job. So it just really depends whether you want to use this segment or not, but you definitely can. It just depends on how you want to, I suppose, divvy up all of your questions. Job role segments could potentially be things that are related to that specific person's role. For example, it could be your sales targets or KPIs, whatever it might be. And then you have your last segments is your 360 segments. So maybe your employee was collaborating with someone in a different department and you want to ask that person slightly different questions than you would want to ask their manager. So this is where you start populating those 360 segments, and you can invite pretty much anyone within your organization as an administrator to answer any questions related to that employee. So now that I've showed you how simple it is to configure a performance review, what else? One thing to add as well is, if you have similar performance reviews running, but they're filtered slightly differently, you'll be able to copy and paste all of this information so you're not left doing the same thing and just be able to change different nuances across your performance review. So what I'm going to do is I'm just quickly going to go over to the employees tab right here, and I'm going to go into Joe Bradley's name. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the performance tab as an administrator and add him to a new review. So we can start a review through here, or what we can do is we can automate that process. Once Joe hits 6 months, you'll be able to notify Joe and launch his probationary review. But for now, let's do a performance review under Joe's file. Now, what happens here is you can, as an administrator, you'll be able to see the employees, managers, and the 360 responses as well. But let's say, for example, we're Joe's manager, and this is how we start answering all the necessary questions. Again, you can see that the slider is configurable, and you'll be able to save your progress, and then you can see which questions you've answered and go along as need be. So once you've completed all the necessary segments, you can see that we only have the core segments here. We didn't add any job role segments. There's a few things that we can do here. So once we go through all of these questions and answer, on the top right hand corner, there will be a share button that pops up. Now that share button, it doesn't actually share the answers to the employee straight away. What it does is just notifies the employee that your manager has completed that performance review. Now, this is a great opportunity to let you know that what PeopleHR allows you and encourages you to do is to, set up those one-to-ones with your employee and share the answers together rather than sharing the answers straight away. So from that instance, what you can do is you can also print your answers in a print-friendly version and talk about the answers in your next catch-up as well. Within performance review, you also have your 360 reviews, and this is where you can invite employees to start completing the 360 questions for the employee. And then you also have your goals as well. So you can drag goals and set them to which priority you want them to be. So this is just a great way of, holding your employees accountable for their goals. Then, we can have a due date on that specific goal, and then the progress of that goal so far. We're going to click save. And then, once you have those more frequent catch-ups with your employees, you'll be able to, drag this a little dot depending on the priority and the value of that goal.
Want to learn more? Well, ask your account manager for other videos in this series, including onboarding, performance management, learning management, employee self-service, employee recognition, and how you can create custom forms and workflows, all using Access Workspace, one unified HRS platform, one connected team.